Welcome to Mo Recap. Today I'm recapping a disturbing horror story about a young woman who wanted so badly to become a supermodel that she swallowed a tapeworm just to lose weight. This is Tapeworm from American Horror Stories Season 3, released in 2023. Let's get started. The story starts with a young woman named Vivian chasing her dream of becoming a fashion model. She leaves her hometown in Iowa and moves alone to New York City. One day, she receives an invitation from a well-known modeling agency. They tell her that if she passes the interview, she will have a chance to appear in magazines and possibly become the supermodel she has always dreamed of being. Early that morning, Vivian arrives at the company full of excitement. But as soon as she enters, she sees dozens of beautiful girls with perfect bodies waiting for their turn. It's clear the competition is fierce. Only 1 in 100 will be chosen. Vivian grows nervous, but after taking a deep breath to calm herself, she walks confidently to the end of the line. Soon, she starts chatting with another aspiring model named Heather, and the two quickly become friends. Perhaps because Vivian's style is unique, the company surprisingly asks her to interview first. Sheila Klein, the agency's director, tells her to walk a few steps so they can see her posture. Vivian quickly composes herself and gives a confident little runway walk. Sheila compliments her talent but then suddenly changes tone. She tells Vivian that to become a fashion model, talent isn't the most important thing. Body shape is. Then Sheila asks what dress size she wears. Vivian replies, "Size 4. Sheila smiles and says coldly, "You're too fat." Crushed, Vivian runs out of the building in tears. Heather follows and comforts her, telling her not to give up. If she can lose some weight, she might still get another chance. But Vivian doesn't believe she can slim down fast enough. After thinking for a while, Heather hands her a business card. It belongs to Dr. Lau, a specialist in rapid weight loss treatments. Heather explains that she went there herself and lost weight successfully. Still doubtful, Vivian follows the address to a small, rundown clinic. After learning about her situation, Dr. Lau prescribes her a diabetes drug called Mondify, claiming it can help with extremely fast weight loss. He instructs her to inject it into her thigh once a week and to control her diet carefully. Vivian follows the plan for 4 months, and to her surprise, it works. When she stands before Sheila again, Sheila is thrilled with her transformation and immediately signs her to the agency. Vivian's career takes off with her unique look and confidence. She quickly becomes one of the hottest new faces in the fashion world. Sheila believes she can soon turn Vivian into a true supermodel. But just as Vivian's career is peaking, she suddenly faints during a photo shoot. After an examination, Dr. Lau discovers that Vivian has a heart condition she hadn't disclosed. He furiously warns her that continuing the injections could make her heart explode. He forbids her from taking Mondify ever again. But Vivian, now addicted to her success, refuses to stop. She's terrified that if she stops losing weight, her modeling career will end. Seeing her desperation, Dr. Lau hesitates, then disappears into the back room and returns with a small, decorative box. When Vivian opens it, she's shocked to find a tiny, wriggling creature inside. Dr. Lau explains that it's a tapeworm egg, an ancient method for losing weight. He tells her she must swallow it and not change her normal eating habits. Without hesitation, Vivian picks up the egg and swallows it with a sip of oolong tea. Dr. Lau smiles and says, "You'll be down 10 pounds in a week." Sure enough, with this bizarre new method, Vivian becomes thinner and more radiant than ever. She rises to fame quickly, becoming the most sought-after fashion model at the agency. But one night after returning home, overwhelmed by hunger, Vivian forgets Dr. Lau's warning. She devours an entire bottle of milk, a full box of pasta, and even some moldy food. Yet no matter how much she eats, she doesn't gain weight. In fact, she grows even thinner. She keeps binge eating and posing glamorously in photo shoots. Everything seems perfect for now. But as her appetite grows, her mood also begins to change. At first, Sheila doesn't think much of it until Vivian's temper starts spiraling out of control. She snaps at people for no reason, even yelling at Sheila in public. Vivian proudly announces that she has been selected by a bigger, more prestigious magazine to shoot their next cover and that she will no longer need Sheila's help. Then she storms off, leaving Sheila stunned. That evening, Heather returns home after work, eager to share her good news. One of her photos has been chosen by a magazine for publication. But no matter how long she talks, Vivian never appears. Eventually, Heather finds her hiding inside the closet, wild-eyed and eating ice cream with trembling hands. Vivian suddenly screams at her, calling her a has-been and a wannabe, and smashes Heather's camera to the floor. Heather stands frozen in disbelief. Then, as if waking from a trance, Vivian suddenly calms down and looks completely confused about what had just happened. By then, Heather has already made up her mind to move out. Vivian begs her to stay, and in desperation confesses everything, how she swallowed a tapeworm to stay thin. But Heather only laughs in disbelief, telling her, "The real monster inside you isn't a worm. It's jealousy." As the next day arrives, the frail and bony Vivian prepares for her magazine cover shoot. but she has grown so thin that her custom-made outfit has become a size too large. The stylist has no choice but to clip the extra fabric at the back. Before they can even start doing her makeup, Vivian, overwhelmed by hunger, runs to the side and begins devouring food like a wild animal. Her desperate eating shocks everyone on set, especially the magazine's creative director, who stares in disbelief at her extreme thinness and frantic appetite. Unsurprisingly, her disturbing behavior and unnatural appearance cost her the job. Crushed and desperate, Vivian once again seeks out Dr. Lau. When he learns that she has been binge-eating uncontrollably, his expression changes. He suddenly realizes how serious the situation is. He explains that a tapeworm is a simple yet powerful organism. If Vivian had maintained normal eating habits, it would have remained harmless inside her. But since she has been eating excessively, the worm has likely grown rapidly. The bigger it becomes, the more energy it demands, until it can begin to take control of Vivian's body. Now extremely weak, Vivian begs Dr. Lau to help her remove the creature. He warns her that surgery or using strong drugs to kill the worm could also kill her. Instead, he hands her a bottle of foul-smelling liquid and tells her it will force the parasite out naturally. He instructs her to catch and dispose of the worm as it emerges. Vivian returns home, drinks the entire bottle without hesitation, and sits trembling in the bathtub to wait. Before long, her stomach begins to twist and churn violently. Then, slowly and disgustingly, a portion of the tapeworm's body begins sliding out of her. Seeing the chance, Vivian grabs it with both hands and pulls with all her remaining strength until the entire worm comes out of her body. But the effort leaves her completely drained. Too weak to move, Vivian collapses, and in a horrifying twist, the creature she had expelled begins to feed on her lifeless body. Moments later, the scene shifts. Heather returns to the apartment to pack up the rest of her belongings. She rings the doorbell several times, but there's no answer. She then uses her spare key to open the door. She's hit by the terrible smell and chaos inside. The place is littered with garbage. Then she sees it. Vivian's body lying lifeless in the bathroom and a massive tapeworm hanging grotesquely from the ceiling. In the final scene, Heather, now noticeably thinner, is seen sitting in front of Sheila for an audition. Sheila looks at her with a knowing smile and asks darkly, "Are you hungry?" Heather grins and replies, "I'm starving." It's clear the deadly cycle of obsession is about to begin again. The end.